You're watching The Angela Anderson Show, helping moms live their dream while taking care of their family. Like, follow, subscribe, and share. Let someone know The Angela Anderson Show is here. And now, live on set, none other than host extraordinaire, Angela Anderson.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Angela Anderson Show, where we help moms live their dreams while taking care of their family. I am your host, Angela Anderson, and I'm so excited that you are here with me for this episode. Now, this show is a result of a virtual summit that I hosted during the summer of 2022. It was called Get Your Life on Track, Walk in Your Purpose, and the focus was on mothers who wanted to identify their purpose and live it fully while taking care of their family. For 14 days, I interviewed top speakers and influencers who shared information and great tips that assisted mothers in identifying their purpose, pursuing their goals, and living their dream, all while taking care of their family. So there was such a great demand for this type of content. So I created this talk show where I will continue to empower moms out there to see their value, understand their importance, and reclaim their identity. So here we are with the Angela Anderson Show. Let me ask you something. Are you comfortable? Think about that for a second, and I'm going to talk about that more when we come back from our commercial.
Someone once said that life is a journey. Every now and then I convince myself that I have it all figured out. All of a sudden, life throws me a curveball and I find myself between a rock and a hard place. Through it all, the pervading theme is that God is constantly pursuing me. Just when I thought I knew God, He reveals Himself to me in a different way. I now realize that His purpose is to achieve a deeper level of intimacy with me, no matter what it takes. His main concern is the end result, which is to live with Him in eternity. He loves me that much, and the same holds true for you.
Just When I Thought I Knew God, it's available to you on Amazon.com, and it's also available in Kindle format. Just When I Thought I Knew God, 40-day devotional and journal. So before we went to commercial, I asked you a simple question. Are you comfortable? Now, I don't mean, are you comfortable in your seat? Some of you are sitting right now. Maybe you're sitting at your desk or sitting in a chair somewhere, and you've got me playing in the background. Some of you might be in your car driving. Some of you might be on a walk. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'm not really talking about your positioning of your body. Are you comfortable? But I'm talking about life overall. Are you comfortable? Or maybe you're too comfortable. Years ago, when my youngest son was about 2 years old, the toughest job that I had at that moment was putting him down for a nap. I just couldn't get him settled. And he would be playing, he would be rolling around, he would be making sounds, he would sing a song, he would do just anything and everything to not fall asleep. And for those parents out there with toddlers, this was years ago for me, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. And those of you who've been on that journey, trying to get your toddler to fall asleep is pretty rough. So anyway, I had enough. I had had enough. And so I passed on the job to my husband. And I said, you know what? I can't do this. He's not sleeping. My youngest son is not sleeping. And I just need you to do this. And so, so my husband started with that task, putting my little one to sleep. And what's interesting is whatever technique he used, actually worked. Here, take a look.
Hey Ryan, are you comfortable?
Yes, I'm comfortable.
You're comfortable?
He asked him that simple question. Oh, that's so cute. That gives me chills every time I see it. Of course, he was 2 years old back then. He's still cute, but in a different way. But so my husband asked him a simple question. Are you comfortable? And of course, he responded, yes, I'm comfortable. And he got all cozy and fell asleep. And believe it or not, that tactic worked, because when my husband wasn't there and then it was my duty to put Ryan to sleep, I would lay down next to him, and then Ryan would say to me, Mommy, are you comfortable? And then he would give me a kiss on my forehead, and I would say, yes, yes, honey, I'm comfortable. And he would lay down next to me and fall asleep. Imagine that. It worked. He was trained. My husband trained him to do that. But we wanted him to be comfortable because we wanted him to fall asleep. We wanted him to be still. We didn't want him to move. We just wanted him to take a nap and get a good nap in, so that way we can get some stuff done, what we needed to do. And then, of course, he would get up afterwards. But the purpose of him being comfortable, as I said before, was for him to relax, fall asleep, and be still. So when you're comfortable, you're kind of stagnant. You are complacent. You stay where you are. You see where I'm going with this? There's not really a motivation to progress or move forward because you're comfortable. Well, this is a show for moms who want to live their dream. Even though we have other listeners and viewers who aren't moms, and you can learn something from this too. And I'm glad you're here, by the way. But in order to reach your goals and to live your dream, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Did you hear what I said? Yeah, you can get comfortable, but you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So when you are out of your comfort zone, and a lot of us have heard this already, right? This is just reinforcement. And for those of you who've never heard this before, when you are outside of your comfort zone, you feel a little awkward. That's normal. You feel a little bit awkward, but that actually helps you grow. And guess what? The more accustomed you are to being outside of your comfort zone, you get accustomed to those awkward feelings, and then you actually grow faster. The unpleasant feelings after a while are actually welcome, because that is looked at as an opportunity for learning. And again, this is how you grow. When you ask successful people, they will tell you that in order to achieve success, you have to get uncomfortable, and you have to get used to being uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, it leads to new opportunities. When you're uncomfortable, it leads to different experiences in your life. And when you think about that for a second, think back to a time, any time in your life, when you actually achieved something. Maybe you did something that you weren't familiar with. Maybe you tried, I don't know, a new hobby. I met this person one time who told me that they went to Puerto Rico and lived there for a year, didn't know a word of Spanish. How uncomfortable is that? And then came back fluent in Spanish. That's uncomfortable. Moving to a place where you're not used to, whether it's the custom, the culture, or anything, coming out of your comfort zone, but realizing that it's a new opportunity and an opportunity to learn and to grow. Not just the experiences in your life, but it also gives you courage. It gives you courage because you are doing something perhaps that you've never done before. And then after a while, it makes you brave. And it gives you that, I don't know, that oomph, let's call it that. Don't ask me how to spell that word, by the way, to continue to seek these new opportunities and these new experiences so that way you will grow. There have been times in my life as I'm sitting here thinking about some of the things that I've done. And for those of you who've attended some of my master classes, you know some of my experiences and some of the things that I don't want to say fell into, but I kind of put my foot forward and just did it. And it ended up being one of the best things I've ever done. One of those things, for those of you who remember, years ago, when I started a nonprofit organization, it was 501c3, it was called Head to the Sky. And what it entailed was me going into prison, yes, behind bars, with those who are incarcerated, and sitting in a class and teaching classes that focused on basic life skills, job preparedness, and things like anger management, character building, etc. So the objective of Head to the Sky was to get to those who are incarcerated and train them and give them this information and knowledge and skills so that way when they come out of prison, they would hit the ground running and not return to prison. So the overall vision was to reduce the rate of recidivism in the community and to effectively transform lives behind bars. And a lot of people, when they heard me say this or knew that this is what I was doing, some of them kind of, looked at me like, you went behind bars? Yes, I did. And it was one of the best experiences in my entire life to know that I was impacting lives that way. And I actually enjoyed teaching classes, and they actually enjoyed learning. And there are a couple of success stories that came from that. But again, I had to get out of my comfort zone. Even though I was excited to do it, I wasn't exactly comfortable behind bars. But being there and understanding my purpose there allowed me to have courage. And it got to the point where I did it for years and I didn't feel any kind of way going there and just getting right in there and doing what I was there to do. So that's just one example. And I'm thinking that some of you, if you can think back in your past, I'm sure you have some examples of where you stepped outside of your comfort zone in order to achieve success in an area of your life. I'll tell you this. a couple hours ago, I was in a fitness class, an exercise class. And I recently joined Orange Theory. And by the way, this is not a plug for Orange Theory. Um, I'm just letting you know that this is what I joined. So Orange Theory is all over the place. I found out it's not just national; they're actually global. They're everywhere, and it's a fitness program. You actually go to the studio or this, place to work out, and it's a heart rate based workout. They give you a heart monitor. You attach it to your arm or your wrist, close to your heart, so that way it measures your heart rate as you're working out. And what I love about this program, it's challenging. I will tell you that it is definitely challenging. So it's high intensity, and what they do is they do it's like interval training. They'll alternate between short, intense exercises, and then they'll have like long recovery periods, right? And then they'll have different types of workouts. And when you go, you're never doing the same workout, by the way. They switch it up, right? They have treadmills, they have rowing machines, they have the floor where you lift weights and do floor exercises, but it's focused on something, whether it's your core, whether it's your legs, your arms. Usually it's a full body workout. And there's a coach, there's someone walking around, he or she has a headset on, and they're speaking to the class, instructing them what to do next. And of course, you have like visual aid in front of you. And when you're on the treadmill, there's like a screen there. And then up above, it shows everybody's heart rate. Your name, everybody's heart rate's up there. So you know what zone you're in. They have different zones, right? This is all scientifically based. Okay. And, like the blue and green, you're kind of just getting things going. And the objective is to stay in the orange for as long as possible, because that gets your heart rate up. And you might get in the red a little bit. That means your heart rate is going really, really fast. And that's not too bad. But you want to stay in the orange, for as long as possible, whether it's during the high intensity or in the recovery period. So my purpose in saying all of that is this. So today I went there, and again, I just started. So this was my fifth or sixth class. And it's getting a little intense, and I noticed something what the coach was saying. And at this point, we were all on the treadmill. You can run on the treadmill, like jog. You can walk, and if you walk, you got to do the incline to get the intensity going. But one of the things he said, there's something called base level. And this is where you're kind of relaxed. And for me, you're walking at a good pace, whether it's the speed or the incline. And then the next level is called a push. So he said, okay, we're going to do a push for 90 seconds. Okay, so you're sitting there, you're walking at base, and then you got to get ready for the push. And the joggers are getting ready for the push. This is what he said. Now, what I want you to do is get a little uncomfortable. You're going to start to feel uncomfortable, but I need you to keep going. Why? Because we're building endurance, because we're building strength and power. Okay, so we're doing this push, and you start seeing the boards light up. People are in the orange, some people are in the red. You're doing this push. And then he says, okay, all right, we're going back to base. Let's recover. So then you go back to just a normal pace. Your heart rate is still going though. So then he said this, we're going to go back to the push for another 90 seconds. Now, for those of you who didn't feel uncomfortable, I need you to increase your push so that you feel uncomfortable. So what was his purpose here? To make us uncomfortable. Why? Because that is the whole reason we are there at the fitness program, to not just be uncomfortable, but to benefit from this program. And then there's also something called all out, where you're just putting everything into it. And this is, again, the endurance. But at the end, not only do you feel accomplished, but the fact of the matter is, if you keep up this program, you will achieve your goals, whatever those goals would be, whether it's weight loss, whether it's building your muscles, toning them, or just getting into shape. But the whole purpose is it does not feel comfortable. And so I just want to drive that point home to whoever's listening right now. There are times in your life where you're going to wonder, okay, I want to live my dream, and I'm kind of doing some things to live my dream, but this is getting hard. You're on the right track. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be uncomfortable, because on the other side of that is success waiting for you. And so we have to take that risk to be vulnerable, to expose ourselves to things that are unfamiliar, because that familiarity, can I say that 3 times? When things are unfamiliar, that is actually what gets you where you're going. That's how you progress. That's how you move forward. And so I want to challenge you, each of you, whoever's listening at this very moment, proactively seek new challenges. Try it just one time. Some of you are already doing it. You're starting a business. You're doing something that you've never done before. It's kind of scary. It's uncomfortable. But you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Now, some of you know that I am a life coach. I want to go to a quick commercial, and I'll tell you all about it.
Are you a mom who has a dream that you want to pursue but feel like you don't have the time? Are the dual roles and responsibilities of your life pulling you in every direction? Get focused now and make your dream a reality. You can achieve your goals without neglecting your family. Angela Anderson can show you how. Angela Anderson, Life Coach for Moms. Empowering moms to identify their purpose and live it fully. Angela offers masterclasses for moms and a coaching program to get you on track for an investment that fits your budget. Find out if having a mom life coach is a good fit for you. Schedule a free consultation by going to www.chatwithcoachangela.com.
We'll figure out where you are in life and get you to the next step. So schedule a free consultation with me, chatwithcoachangela.com. And hopefully I will hear from you this week and we can get something going for you. For those of you who are not familiar with YouTube, and I did find out there are a few people out there who asked me, how do I go about subscribing to your YouTube channel? So all you have to do is go to YouTube and scroll down. And when I say scroll down, because I just launched in April, so I'm not going to be at the top. You're going to have to scroll down and look for the Angela Anderson Show. And what you're going to see is all of the shows that I've ever put out there. Again, I launched this past April, and all of the shows are listed there. So if you have not been watching, you can catch up. The shows are not that long. I try to keep them within 30 minutes. Some of them might have been over just a little bit, but I try to keep them within that time. So that way you can just listen and go about your business. But subscribe to my YouTube channel today. It's the Angela Anderson Show. Guess what? I'm also on Spotify. If you want the audio version of this, you can definitely get that on Spotify. And what you would do is just follow the Angela Anderson Show. So that way you would be able to hear all of the episodes. And once you follow and once you subscribe to the YouTube channel, it will alert you, because sometimes we forget that we're on at Wednesdays, every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. And I don't want you to miss some of this content, because it's pretty good. And some of my guests that are here, they have a lot to share, and I definitely don't want you to miss that. But if you did miss it, you can always go back and take a look. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Carvel Monroe. I don't know if he's listening right now, but Carvel is amazing with media. He did my intro, he did my voiceovers, my commercials. The Angela Anderson Show is just blessed to have him and his talent lend to me for this. But if you're interested in some of his talent to be used, DM me or get in contact with me, and I will definitely point you to him. So today we learned, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I challenge you again to proactively seek a new challenge that might be uncomfortable, and watch what happens to you. Not just success, but what happens to you on the inside. Your courage, activating that, bravery, activating all of that, and just building your character. It will be well worth it. So until next time, take care. Thank you so much for watching The Angela Anderson Show.